Let's get it hot.
So he said he's the best PG.
Yes, he did. He said that. He said he's the best point guard in the league right now.
And you disagree, clearly? All right, no.
I do disagree, Bob, but I disagree because it's actually not true. I agree with him because why he said it, right? I agree with him because why he said it. So when you are at that level and you're playing at that level, you believe that you are that good. There are no boxers who are top 10 contenders that don't think they're the heavyweight champion of the world or don't think they could beat the heavyweight champion of the world. Otherwise, there's no reason for you to be in it.
Right.
If you don't think that you could do it. So Dame actually saying it out loud. I mean, there's a lot of guys that actually think that. Dame saying it out loud. I've been around for 12 years and going through the grind that I went through, being the player that I've been over the course of this time, making first team All-NBA with Steph Curry in the league, with Chris Paul in the league, with Russell Westbrook in the league, with Kyrie Irving in the league, with all of these dudes in the league, me doing what I did and still playing at a high level, considering last year what he did. Of course, he's supposed to think that, yo, I'm the best player. I'm the best point guard in the league right now. Of course, he's going to think that. The problem that we have in No Big Ox is the flip side to that, where he has been outplayed by a superior point guard, not once, but more than once. So when he gets outplayed, now don't get me wrong, Ox, the stuff that he's done throughout his career, you know, in 2020, where he talked about being in the bubble and that being one of the toughest, or that being, one of the toughest championship runs. You know, on the one hand, I can understand it because even though Dame has never won a championship, like getting there is hard.
Yeah.
Forget winning it. Getting there is really hard. And he's been to the Western Conference Championship. The difference with him going to the Western Conference Championship is that he's going to the Western Conference Championship against a dude who clearly outplayed him in that series. And this is actually the best league guard in the game.
Still to this day.
Yeah, that's what everybody considers. He is the best league guard in the game today. So with that being said, for Dame to say that, I can appreciate the confidence because, you know, if you look at his track record with Russell Westbrook, I bust your ass. If you look at his track record with Kyrie Irving, I bust your ass too. If you look at his track record with Russell Westbrook, with Chris Paul, I've outplayed you guys. I've done all of these things. But the problem is that the one guy who has outplayed you more than once, more than twice, more than three times, you clearly aren't better than him because of the one, I think he's a better player than you. Two, how many times he's outplayed you? Because Big Ox, you know how I feel about a guy being better at basketball. Because just because a guy is better at basketball, that's not enough. Because better basketball players have gotten outplayed. Big Ox, you've outplayed guys who were quote unquote better at basketball than you. You've outplayed them. So the idea that this dude is better at basketball than this dude, that doesn't really hold that much weight with you. Simply off the strength of that.
But is it fair to say that he's the second best?
To be honest with you, I'm on record saying this. You can make an argument that of his era after Steph Curry, you could make the legit argument that he's the second best point guard of his era, including Kyrie Irving, including Russell,
including Chris Paul.
Including Chris Paul. You can make the argument that Damian Lillard is the second best point guard of his era. You can definitely make that argument, considering what Damian Lillard has done, taking his team to the Western Conference Championship, averaging. I think the year that he finished sixth in the league in league MVP votes. He finished sixth in the league in MVP votes. I think Big Ox, he was 30-8 that year. I mean, damn, 30-8.
This is high praise.
Absolutely. And with that being said, during that time, I believe he put 55 on the Denver Nuggets. He outplayed Kyrie Irving. He had 3 60-point games that year. in 2000. This in 2020 alone. That's not including the years prior, right? So you can make the argument that Damian Lillard during that time, after Steph Curry, was the second best league guard of his era. Because he has a legit. Don't get me wrong. I can appreciate Russell Westbrook winning the league MVP. That stuff matters to me. He's one of 5 point guards in NBA history to win the league MVP. But to say that Damian Lillard did not play at that level for a bunch of years, he played at that level in 2017, 2018, in 2018, 2019, in 2019, 20, in 2016, 2017. He played at that level for a bunch of years, and because he played at that level for the amount of years that he played at that level. Because he played at that level for those amount of years, and guys like Chris Paul, who had a 3-year stretch where he didn't make the All-NBA team. So he wasn't playing at an all-pro level. And Damian Lillard was. Russell Westbrook, who was playing at an all-pro level. You can make the legit argument that Damian Lillard was the second best point guard of his era. He came into the NBA right from the beginning. He was awesome.
And is he said? Would you consider him second best, maybe third best today, point guard?
I think that's asking a lot, man. Because I feel like with the lead guards in today, Luka, him, Ja, Curry, Chris Paul is over. Russell Westbrook is over. I think. Shea, Trae Young. Guys like that. Again, I can understand his logic that, I'm the best point guard in the game. But the guys that are playing today, that are playing at a high level and have been playing at a high level, right? The guys that have been playing at a high level have been playing at a high level for a long time. And just like you, Dame, you're getting older. So I think your argument is a lot stronger 2 or 3 years ago than it is today. Coming off injury, then the year before that, barely playing half the season and missing the majority of the season due to injury. And then last year, bowing out again due to injury, and your team wasn't very good. So to say that, I'm the best point guard in the league, I think his case was a lot stronger years ago than it is today.
Yeah,
I do.
I definitely agree with that. I was asking you that for a reason, though, Chilton. I was asking you that because I wanted to just bring up the conversation that we've had before on the panel about the Miami Heat. And I was going to say, like, if you think Dame is still that good today, then, why would you think that Miami couldn't make a title run with Dame?
Oh, absolutely. Sure, absolutely. I felt like Dame this season, not the 23-24 season. I'm sorry, last season. I felt like last season he was coming into the season healthy, and I felt like he was going to play his way back into the top 10. Okay. And I felt like he was right there. I did. I felt like he was right there. His season got cut short. He got shut down, but he had a stretch where he was averaging something crazy like 38-8, close to 38-10 for like a month, and he was doing work. But when I think about what other guys were doing during that time when the season was going on, guys like Trae Young, guys like Trae Young, guys like Luka, guys like that, guys like Steph Curry, who were doing astronomical things. I'm thinking to myself, I still feel like Damian Lillard is one of the best league guards in the game. I just feel like he's had a better case years ago than he does today.
Yeah, definitely. And even because Chris Paul's a little younger, but still would just be him and Steph. I would agree with that. Yeah, I'm excited to see though. I hope Dame can be healthy this year and make one more push for it. Well, not like I don't think this is his last stance, but I think Dame probably has 3, maybe 4.
I honestly feel like him going back to Portland, because I don't think they're moving off of him. Not yet. I think him going back to Portland is going to be good for Scoot, because I think Scoot playing behind him is going to help him. I mean, I don't know what guard coming into the league is going to get better tutelage than playing behind a dude like Damian Lillard and getting my ass bust every day by that dude. I mean, there's nobody that I'm going to go against in practice better than this. So I'm not going to see Damian Lillard every night in the NBA.
Right.
So because I'm not going to see Damian Lillard every night in the NBA, but I see him every day in practice, that's going to prepare me more that's going to prepare me way more for the season than if they just threw me out there. That's why, again, I said it before the summer started. I don't think that they move off of him. I think that they wait, and I think this benefits Scoot. I think this benefits Simons, and I think it's going to be good for them.
Well, I get that too. I understand that angle from it, but I understand that for Scoot. Is that a sacrifice that Dame should make for his career, though? Because they're not going to win in Portland. You know, like Dame's not going to win in Portland. So, from Dame's point of view, from Dame's perspective, would like what my outlook on this? Like, okay, I would stay with the young guy, show him the ropes, and get him ready if we could compete. We're not going to compete. I mean, like, look, kid, like, good luck, but I can't help you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I'm. You know. Is that selfish of Dame?
I don't think it's selfish, Ox, but I can't see him preparing all summer, getting in shape, staying in shape. I can't see him preparing all summer to sit out and not show up to camp and not be ready to be ready to play and be ready to get to work. I can't see him doing that. And the reason why I can't see him doing that, because at the end of the day, Damian Lillard is a baller. Right? Damian Lillard is a baller. Damian Lillard, there's guys who play basketball and there's basketball players.
Mm-hmm.
Me, when I say there's basketball players, there's guys that's in the league. They don't really love the game. I'm just doing it because I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard is a basketball player. This is who he is. This is if Damian Lillard worked at the post office, what he reminds me of, Big Ox, is he reminds me of a rapper who, if I didn't have a record deal and he worked at the post and I worked at the post office, I have a book of rhymes.
Yeah,
that's who Damian Lillard.
Yeah, for sure.
Damian Lillard, if he worked at the post office, he'll be playing in the rec league and be kicking ass. So I can't see Damian Lillard coming into this season with what happened across with what happened over the course of over the summer for him to come into the season and just to sit on the sideline. I just can't see him doing that.
Right.
I can't.
I mean, no, he's me neither. As long as he's on the team, I think Dame's going to play. I don't think he should hold out or nothing like that. Right. But I still think he's telling, the front office, like, get me out of here.
Right.
I'm ready to go. If anything, I would see the front office stop playing him. Like, for me, if I'm in the front office, I'm looking to trade Dame. He's not playing. I'm gonna shut him down. I'm gonna shut him down.
I definitely can appreciate that. That you don't want to risk injury, but Dame doesn't really strike me as that type of dude who, number one, is going to get injured. Number two, is going to be okay with that. Like, I'm gonna sit out until you guys trade me. Well, damn, you had all summer to trade me,
right?
And you didn't,
right?
So now the season's here. So now I just got to sit home and twiddle my thumbs and wait for myself to get traded. I just can't see him doing that.
Right.
I can't.
Well, we'll see about it. I know, I mean, as you know, I'm up here in Portland right now. It's still talk of the town. Actually, I was in the mall yesterday, and his jerseys are on discount. He said they're selling his jerseys. I think it was like 35% off. So I don't know. I mean, people are talking about it at the barbershops, at the bars, everywhere. It's the talk of the town. So we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see. In the meantime, let's knock out a couple of these super chats. Terry with two dads. What's up, Terry?
Troll alert.
Okay, chill. Magic Johnson is a great adult industry name. And was there a point in time where Shaq could beat you in a foot race?
Was there a time when Shaq could beat me in a foot race? Yeah, and like 92. 92. Shaq was super fast, B. He was barely, he was like 285, 290. He had like 4% body fat. He was in ridiculous shape.
Damn.
Shaq's one of the best athletes ever. Yeah.
That's crazy. Aramis Jones. What's going on, Aramis?
Yes, sir.
What's good? What's good, OG and Big Ox? Y'all know B.I., my favorite player. Do y'all consider Ingram one of the top wings in the league? Do y'all think he's over DeMar yet? If not, why? And what would it take for him to make the jump to top 4 or 5 wings in the league?
Well, when I think about the top, we're going to talk about the wings in the game, and For him to make that jump, if you notice, like the better wings in the game, a lot of them, especially the top 4, top 5, they've won. They've made deep playoff runs, and them making deep playoff runs, KD, Jason Tatum, right? These guys making deep playoff runs, they're doing that off the strength of them. Don't get me wrong, their team is good, but that's largely due to them dudes. Brandon Ingram, him being a bucket getter, right? Him being a bucket getter, that works. And I think that's great for his game, and I think that's great for New Orleans. But until he starts to do the other things, it's going to be hard for him to get in that top 5 because those other things is what's going to translate them to winning. So,
is he over DeMar DeRozan? Brandon Ingram?
Nope.
No?
I don't think so. I don't. I think that he may be a better scorer, a more versatile scorer, but for what DeMar DeRozan has done, no.
Yeah. I gotta say, Chilltown, as far as the PC community goes, I've noticed that a lot of the PC community has allowed Mars to persuade them that DeMar DeRozan, Julius Randle, and James Wiseman are just complete, just dog doo-doo.
That's a fact, yo. I mean, if I gotta listen to it, that's exactly what it sounds like to me. It sounds like why are we even talking about James Wiseman? Because I think he gets a bad rap, to be honest with you, Big Ox. I think that him getting traded to Detroit, that was a bad situation that he got traded to, and because he got traded to that situation, it didn't help his game. I think this season we're going to get a better idea and we're going to get a better handle on who exactly James Wiseman is. He's coming in healthy, right? He's coming in healthy. Not only is he coming in healthy, he's coming in on a team that they're going to need his production in order for them to make some noise in the East. So I think we're going to find out a lot about James Wiseman this season in Detroit, especially considering Monty Williams. I think he wants to shed that image of what happened last year between him and DeAndre Ayton, because I don't think that he wants that label on him. So for him to have that logic going on right now between him and DeAndre Ayton that they just couldn't get along, for that to happen again with another big guy, that's going to look really bad on him. I don't think that he wants that. I think that one of his goals this season is to change that, and I think that he's going to focus a lot on James Wiseman being better.
I think he's in a win-win situation with James Wiseman and Jalen Duren. So I don't know who's better. I don't think it's crazy to say James Wiseman is better, but time will definitely tell. From Devin, chill. Said you witnessed the first behind the back pass, Chilltown.
I did. All of y'all witnessed the first behind the back pass. Just turn on, especially in the NBA. Go watch some old film. You'll see Bob Cousy doing it.
Right.
Yeah, you'll see him doing it.
Bob Cousy used to drop dimes.
Yes, he did.
From Kwabe, salute Ox and Chilltown.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Kwabe? Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Another one from Aramis Jones. Truth, appreciate the answer. No doubt.
Absolutely, brother.
So appreciate it, Aramis. Let's see. Hold on. We got Big Fan Breezy in the back. What's up, Breezy?
Yo, I can't lie, man. These panel episodes been fire, man. Chill been cooking the chat all week. Shout to Chill. I see y'all had Mikal Bridges on the. Do you have Mikal Bridges top 5 small forwards this season?
I don't have wing players or small forwards.
All right, when you say wing player, you're not talking about small forward?
We're talking about wings. So we're talking about like Giannis, KD, Tatum, Brandon Ingram, Paul George, Leonard, guys like that.
All right, I mentioned my guy Mikal Bridges, of course, because he gets overlooked a lot when it comes to him being on a wing. But I don't like it because when he came into the league from from college, he averaged 17 points per game, so he could have been an immediate scorer. But role wise, that wasn't significant for him to do in that situation. And on that same team, he was the best perimeter defender, and you can't negate the significance of his role when the Suns went to the finals, in my opinion. So he always had an important role for the as a wing, in my opinion.
Right.
Now,
No, that's not your opinion.
I said that to say that he also at one point of the season led the league in 3-pointers from the corner, which you would consider the wing, right? Is that considered the
Yes.
wing, the corner?
Yes. Mhm.
So a lot of my argument with Leaf and other Nets fans is that he should not play the 2 guard. He should play the 3. He should play the 3. He should play the wing because he was strong doing what he did with the Suns, and that could translate to what he does on the Brooklyn Nets. So that's why I think he should play the 3, and he's one of the best wings in the league. So if you don't got him at top 5, where you fit him at? Is he at least top 10? Chip?
I do think he's top 10, but I want to put him at the 2 because he remind me of a bigger version of Eddie Jones. That's what he remind me of when I watch him. So that the defensive side of the ball is the separator with a lot of other wings when it comes to him. So that's why I think he's a top 10 wing. But with that being said, I didn't realize that he could score like that until he got over to Brooklyn. But I understood it considering the crew he was on. He was on the crew with Chris Paul. He was on the crew with Devin Booker. He was on the crew with DeAndre Ayton, right? So there really wasn't a lot of shots. And he still managed to be like 16 a night, 16, 17 a night with them dudes, right? He still managed to do that. So with him managing to do that on that crew, when he gets to Brooklyn, I think he could be a 22 to 25 a game guy, plus the defense. And if Brooklyn can make a push to be the top 6 to be a playoff team, I think we're having a completely different conversation. But I'm more than likely like him at the 2. I like how he comes off screens. I like how he can knock down open shots, like not just from the corner. He's got a really good mid-range game. Even in transition, he's got a stop and pop game. Him being a defender, that makes him more versatile at the 2 because he could defend the 2 and the 3 on the wing. So I like him at the 2 because you got so many more. I think you got so many more options with him playing the 2 as opposed to the 3. Because if he playing the 3, then that's just the end of it.
You think so? I think it's the other way around, Chill. Because look, if he played a 3, they gotta respect his pump fake for the simple fact that he led the league in corner 3-pointers. If they doing scouting reports and you don't jump at Mikal Bridges 3, I think you getting benched. You know what I'm saying? He's been real efficient, and even when you see him in the FIBA games, he wasn't in a situation where he started. He impacted the game behind Anthony Edwards, behind Austin Reeves. And speaking of the 2 guard, it's no way that, in my opinion, that you got Austin Reeves in front of Mikal Bridges as a starting 2 guard. Mikal Bridges is a better 2 guard. If we keeping it 2 guard, Mikal Bridges is a better 2 guard than Austin Reeves. And I do think that.
I do think that Mikal Bridges is better than him at the 2 guard spot. I do think that.
So you agree that Mikal Bridges could have started over Austin Reeves in the FIBA tournament?
I think that they was looking at Austin Reeves' game in terms of his ability to shoot off the basketball. They was looking at that more than they was looking at Austin Reeves, more than they was looking at Mikal Bridges and how he fit. But it was obvious that it didn't work because you saw what happened when they were, for example, they was playing against Lithuania. Austin Reeves getting switched on to those bigger guards. That wasn't happening with Mikal Bridges. That's why I feel like with him at the 2, when you get bigger guards, he's more versatile. Even when he plays the 3, he can do that too. That's not a problem. And with him playing the 3, with him playing the 2, I feel like you could run more stuff for him. I feel like you can get him involved in more action with him running the 2, as opposed to him playing a small forward. Because him playing a small forward, I think you're looking for him to be involved more in transition than you are in the one-on-one and in the half court. In the half court, I think you can run a lot more curls. I think you can run a lot more pin downs, things like that for him. Just action with him on the wing as opposed to the 3. Because I think you can get a lot more mismatches.
You make a good argument, man. I'm gonna have to reconsider should he be the 2 or the 3, man. I ain't gonna lie. So just in your opinion, if we got a healthy Ben Simmons, what the Brooklyn Nets starting lineup look like for Chilltown?
Damn. Ben Simmons at the 1, Mikal at the 2. Let's see. Is it Royce at the 3?
Maybe. It could be Cam Johnson, though.
Okay, Cam Johnson at the 3, Royce at the 4, and Claxton at the 5. I like that squad, B.
Okay.
I like that 5, B. I do. I like that 5. And I was a big Ben Simmons guy last season and the reason why I was a big Ben Simmons guy the year before last, because I felt like there was an upside, but I was on the way out because I felt like we had gotten what we had gotten, and I hadn't seen much improvement. Mm-hmm. This season, when we're talking about before he left Philadelphia, we're talking about an all-league guard, we're talking about an all-league defender who was 16 and 7, something like that. So with that being said, him being 16 and 7 with another all-league defensive guard who could speed the game up with Nick Claxton, you'll be one of the best. So you got Simmons at the 1, Bridges at the 2, Cam Johnson at the 3, Royce at the 4, Nick Claxton at the 5. At the very least, Big Ox, we got one of the 5 best defensive teams in the game. At the least.
That's ass. So that's weak as hell.
Now I see, and I see why you saying that. The reason why I see why you saying that is because you're thinking about floor spacing and you're thinking about offense. I'm thinking about the fact that the Miami Heat had one of the worst offenses in the league last year. Tell everybody, Big Ox, where they finished that in the last 2 seasons.
I mean, yeah, they
was in the NBA Finals last year. The year before that, they was in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Championship. So,
wait, Dinwiddie not starting?
I mean, he's not a sure thing. You know what I'm saying? Dinwiddie, he played understellar in those last 28 games, so I'm not confident that he's going to start. I think he gets minutes, but I really want to see him run that second unit with Lonnie Walker, to be honest. But not to be long-winded, Chill, I wanted to ask you, do you think, and this is my last question, do you think that Dr. J was a 2-guard or a wing player?
Doc was a 3.
Okay.
He played the small forward, yeah. He definitely played the small forward. Doc had a really good mid-range game. Like, a lot of people don't give Doc enough credit for his ability to shoot the mid-range, but he was definitely a 3-man more than he was a 2.
No, I see his mid-range. It's elite. Yo, shout to you, Chill, and Big Ox, man. Y'all know I love the show, man.
Word. Absolutely, Big Ox. Absolutely, Big Breezy. No doubt.
All right, Breezy.
Later, yeah.
Yeah, Ox. Ox. I don't hate that. I really don't hate that 5. I don't. I don't hate that 5 simply off. Now I know where you at with it, right? Mm-hmm. I know where you at with it because you're looking at that 5. Been the last 2 years, been unproven. Mikal Bridges, he's still making the transition. We still don't know who Cam Johnson is. Royce O'Neal and Nick Claxton, who you really don't have any low post scoring there. So what's going to happen is that our team. Our mantra is going to be defense. That's what we hanging our hat on. Yeah. We hanging our hat on stopping people. Yeah. We hanging our hat on slowing guys down and making it difficult on them. And I feel like with the backcourt of Ben Simmons and Mikal Bridges alone, that big backcourt, Ben's 6'10".
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges
that's definitely stellar defense. Like, that defense is nice. I like that.
Now, I will say this, Ox. The problem that we're going to have is when the games slow down and we get into a half court and we need guys to actually generate some offense, that's where the problem is going to be.
Right.
Like, who are we going to can we consistently go to Mikal Bridges for buckets? Can Ben Simmons open up the offense for us? That's where the problem lies. But defensively, I love that 5.
I do. Some way I kind of want. I might even go a little smaller and start Dinwiddie somewhere and put Ben at like the 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
if you want to take Ben off the basketball, you want to take Ben off the ball.
Not necessarily. I mean, if he can still push the break, push the break, get it in goal, secondary transition, secondary breaks and stuff like that. But I want Dinwiddie in there just to feel like how you were saying, just to help with some scoring. I don't know that team right there. They got to really move the ball. They got to have a good system. They got to move without the ball. Somebody got to knock down shots. I don't know. I mean, I don't hate it though. I think that's a lot of teams, a lot of talent on that. Personally, that's a team like that you would like to coach. Like, that's a top 5. That's a starting 5. Like, I would like to coach that 5 and see. I would like to play with them. I would love to run with them. I don't think we're making any type of playoff run or anything like that, but I think that's a coachable team. It seems like from the outside looking in, a team that you can have fun with. But we'll see. I'm starting Spencer though. Spencer's in the starting lineup for me.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Let me see. We got from Alan R. Thoughts on Dub's old head hate? 2 melts funny, to be honest. I don't know what that means.
Me neither, but yeah, I mean that's what it's the same thing going on it's the same thing going on just about everywhere. That's why I have such a difficult time with people talking about older people, because like when somebody like my age or around my age says something, they think that we all think like that. And I'm thinking, nah, wait a minute. I do not think that Dwayne Wade was better than Kobe Bryant. No, I don't think that. There's nobody that can convince me that. I look at Dwayne Wade and Kobe Bryant like I look at Clyde Drexler and Michael Jordan. Clyde Drexler was fantastic. He wasn't 23 good. As awesome as Dwayne Wade was in his prime, he was not 24 good. He just wasn't. And there's no getting around that, right? I'm not one of these people that's stuck in my old ways where I just sit on old things and never evolve. No, I don't do that. But I do recognize older players as being better in some aspect. Yeah, I have to do that.
Leo, what's going on?
Yeah, you guys hear me?
Yo,
so I'm not sure if Kawhi Leonard is banned from this stream, because I know he's like banned from other streams and stuff. I wanted to like talk about him for now. That was okay.
Kawhi Leonard is banned from this stream. You mean him coming up here or talking about Leonard?
No, like the name Kawhi was banned from like other streams.
Not for me. No, not for me.
Okay,
I actually dig Leonard. My only issue with Leonard has always been health. That's it. That's always been my issue with it. His game never was in question with me. Never.
Okay. All right. So this dude Kawhi, he is one of the most polarizing careers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
He had a couple of years in his prime, like just a couple. And my question is, with just about 3 years of being elite, he's gotten to top. He's looked at as a top 25 player. If this dude's looked at as a top 25 player with only 3 years of his prime, 3 to 4 or 5 years, how far could he have gotten? That's my question. Because it's more than a what if to me, Yeah,
that can be true, but I don't think Kawhi Leonard is a top 25 player. But with that being said, I think you can make the argument top 30, definitely top 35. I definitely think that you can make that argument. But with him not being healthy, I mean, I could say the same thing about Grant Hill. I could say the exact same thing about Grant Hill. Like, what would have happened if Grant Hill would have been able to stay healthy? What would have happened if Penny Hardaway would have been able to stay healthy? We were able to see Kawhi Leonard. It wasn't like Kawhi Leonard didn't play. Like, it wasn't like we only got a year or 2 years or 3 years of Kawhi Leonard. No, we got a lot of years of him. Those what was it, 6 years? Excuse me, 6 to 7 years that he played in San Antonio. But before he got hurt in 17, when he rolled his ankle by Jaja, before 18, I mean, he'd had some elite seasons. 2014, 2015, 2016, even 2017, and then 2019. Right? In the bubble, we saw what happened to the Clippers. Even though he still was playing at a high level, I think he made the All-NBA team that year. Still one of the best two-way players in the game. But when you're talking about being all-time great, top 25, top 30, you have to do things that separate you from other people. I mean, the fact that Kawhi Leonard was never – I think he finished second in the league in MVP votes one time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, in 2016.
Right? I think he finished second in league MVP votes one time. Now, he was playing at that level. I think it was 2016 or 2017. Actually, it was 2016. He finished third in league MVP votes. It was James after him. It was Curry, James, and him. And which to this day, by the way, I got a huge problem with Steph Curry being the unanimous league MVP. I have a huge problem with that. And I got a problem with that, not because Steph Curry didn't deserve the league MVP, but I'm having a difficult time when it's not a question when you got a guy in Kawhi Leonard who's on a team in San Antonio that won 67 games. And he was elite on the offensive and defensive side of the basketball. He was first team All-NBA that year and first team All-Defense. You're telling me that it's not a question? He can't have an argument for being the league MVP and have some first place votes? Nah, you can't sell me that. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the fact that Steph Curry was on a great team and he was the catalyst to that. But man, for a team to win 67 games, the Boston Celtics won 67 games to 86, and the NBA thought that was the best team the NBA had ever seen.
Yeah, it just shows how good the Curry season was that year, to be honest.
Man.
I do got to say this though about Kawhi, and it's completely hypothetical. It's just a statement. It means nothing. But I believe that a healthy Kawhi, healthy Paul George, and just healthy teammates, if Kawhi had a little bit more health around him and himself, I believe he'd have 4, if not 5 rings right now.
Yeah. This dude has not played. I mean, he hasn't lost in a playoff series technically since 2016. If you ignore 2020, he hasn't lost since 2016.
No, I mean, we can't ignore 2020.
Can't do that.
Why would we do that, Leo? Come on, let's be fair.
But if he was healthy in 21, I definitely think they're in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, 21, 22.
If he didn't tear up his knee, I definitely think that they're in the NBA Finals. 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I said already, like healthy Clippers win last year. I think healthy Clippers win the ring last year. I just
with
think
Russ?
Kawhi, with Kawhi and Paul George, I think the healthy Clippers were going to win this last one. I think a healthy Kawhi, healthy teams. He has 5. I think he has 5 rings, 4 for sure.
Definitely.
4 for sure.
So the 4 rings you're talking about, Ox. What 4 of those rings? What years do you think he wins?
I think he wins this one, 23, and I think he wins the one.
So last year he wins it.
Yeah, I think they win it last year, and I think they win it the year he got hurt against the Jazz. Was that 21?
That was 21. So they win it in 21, right? So they win it in 21. Do you think they beat the Clippers in 22? I'm sorry, you think they beat the Warriors in 22?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for
Kawhi
sure.
So they win it again.
Why not?
So they winning it again in 22.
It's hard for me to say that they'll three-peat. Like that's crazy to say that. So let me take it a step back. Like,
okay.
Of those 3 years, I think they could. I don't see why they can't win 2 of them. They definitely win one of them, but I think they win 2 of them.
So last year they win it because I really dug Russ in that lineup last year with a healthy Kawhi Leonard, with a healthy Paul George. Even though I'm out on the Clippers. And anybody who knows me knows I'm out of the Clippers. But with a healthy Kawhi Leonard and with a healthy Paul George, I loved Russ in that line. But you rewind back to 21, I'm on record. If Leonard doesn't get hurt, I had them in the NBA Finals. Now, what they end up doing against Milwaukee, I don't know. You got to hurt Giannis coming into the finals, and the Clippers would have been rolling at that point. Paul George looked really good going into the NBA Finals. I can't say with 100% certainty that Milwaukee beat them. So now you got, like you said, Big Ox, you got them winning it last year. You got them winning it in 21. Plus they won it again in 19 when he was in Toronto. Where's the other one at?
The one it was San Antonio.
Which one? Oh, that's right.
The one that they already won. He already won.
That's right. 14. Okay,
and then don't forget Ray Allen hit that shot. If you think about it, if things go right, Kawhi could easily have 6 rings right now.
I just want to put it on your mind, Big Ox. The reason why they was put in that position where Ray Allen hit that shot, you know that Leonard could have iced the game.
Right, I do. I know. I understand that.
He straight froze up on it. He could have iced it. Would have been over right there.
Leo just got me in the mood of Kawhi propaganda and hypotheticals. So I'm looking at it like, Kawhi should have 6 rings right now.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you.
Thank you for that, Leo. I needed this.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, my man.
Appreciate you, man.
Ox wheels turning. Ox like, wait a minute, yo.
Kawhi.
Now, when I think about it, this dude could have like 5 or 6 rings.
Man, I'm telling you, Kawhi propaganda is amazing. I love it.
It is, yo. It is. It definitely is. When you think about, when you definitely think about what could have been. So like they can, first of all, now that I think about it, Big Ox, that's like 7 because they win it back to back in San Antonio.
Right.
He got hurt in 17. And they were down by 20.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. That's right. See?
He got hurt in 17. They was up by 20 before he got hurt.
The Warriors.
I ain't saying that they beat the Warriors, even though they smoked the Warriors. Both the times that they played them during the season, they served them. And they was up 20 in that. I ain't saying that they win that series. I don't think the Warriors sweep them though. I think they have I think we're talking about a different series. So now we're talking about 17. Then We already saw what he did in 19. I don't think 19 happens, Big Ox. You know why? Because I don't think he leaves San Antonio.
He don't leave. He stays in San Antonio.
I think he stays in San Antonio. He ain't going nowhere. He stays right there in San Antonio. He ain't going nowhere. Nah.
That's crazy just to think about that. I need to make a video on that. Just go into it and talk about how Kawhi should have 9 rings.
Yo, Kawhi Leonard 8 rings.
The GOAT. Be ready for that to drop. Kawhi is the closest thing to the GOAT.
This is why I can't. This is why I have such a difficult time. This is why I have such a difficult time with the championship culture, man. For real, because don't get me wrong. When I talk about all-time greats, winning matters.
Mm-hmm.
Winning absolutely matters. You can't just be kicking ass or your game is timeless and you ain't winning. Nah. Winning is one of the separators. Like, you need a lot of stuff to go your way in order to win, man.
Definitely.
You can't just accept the fact that, we won. Well, wait a minute. There's a lot of stuff that need to go your way in order to win. A lot.
Yeah, for sure. So as y'all can see, the title of the show is about the best wings in the NBA. We are going to get to that, but first, Chilltown, can we run down? We have another top 10 list today, as y'all should have expected. I think this one might have been a little easier than the other ones, Chilltown, or did you have any problems with this one? With this top 10 list?
I did have some trouble with this one too.
Okay.
I did, but it was I was able to figure it out.
Okay, so for the viewers, to let y'all know, we are talking about Chill's top 10 championships. So we're gonna get that to y'all. We're actually gonna, not like usual. Usually we split it up throughout the episode. This time we're gonna just run them straight down, y'all. Chilltown, if you don't mind, we'll start at 10, and then we'll kind of talk about that championship, why you have it where you do. And actually, just since I know it was a little rough, can we get 2 honorable mentions also?
Right.
Before you give us your top 10?
So one of my honorable mentions is the Bad Boy Pistons, one of the best defenses that the NBA, if not the best defense that the NBA had ever seen. They didn't have a 20-point scorer going into the playoffs. Joe Dumars was able to basically dismantle Magic in the first 2 games before he got hurt. So the Bad Boy Pistons, the Bad Boy Pistons are one team that I think is definitely up there. And another one is the it was hard, Big Ox. It was really hard, and that was the 14 Spurs. I had to take them out. I had to take the 14 Spurs out, and I had to go with somebody else.
Okay, it seems like you edited this list a couple times.
I did. It wasn't that simple to do. It was not. It was not that simple to do.
Well, let's dive into it then, Chilltown. Let's start at 10. Who do we have?
At number 10, I got the 67 Sixers. Chamberlain led the league in scoring. He led the playoffs in scoring, rebounding, and assists. The only team in the 60s to beat the Celtics. No other team in the 60s beat the Celtics except them. They didn't start winning until Chamberlain started scoring like that, and made them one of the great teams of all time. At number 9, I got the 87 Lakers. That was when Magic became the best player in the game at that point. He was on his way there, but I feel like that's when Magic had solidified himself as the best player in the game. And I feel like James Worthy had solidified himself as a star in the game. James Worthy was already good, but at that point, he had solidified himself as a star. The next year, when they won the NBA championship and he won the Finals MVP, he became a superstar. But the 87 Lakers in 08. I mean, I'm sorry, number 8. I do have the Spurs. I'm gonna keep the Spurs on there, Big Ox. I'm gonna keep the 14 Spurs on there. Absolutely, I'm gonna keep the 14 Spurs on there. That basketball was some of the best basketball that I've ever seen in my life, man. The way they moved the basketball, the way they constantly kept the defense on their heels and made the defense play defense. That was one of the best. That was one of the best teams that I'd ever seen in my life, man.
Showtime, real quick. So I did say that I noticed it was edited because initially you did have the Pistons at 10.
I did.
And then you moved them out. Did you move them out for the 67 Sixers, or was there another team? Okay, so the 67 Sixers cooked
I had to put that 67 Sixers team on there. I mean, I believe they won 67 games that year, and Chamberlain was just fantastic. He just was fantastic. So, absolutely.
Okay.
Number 7, I got the 72 Lakers. To this day, no team in NBA history has won 67. I'm sorry, no team in NBA history has won the amount of regular season games straight. They won 33 straight games. And not only did they win 33 straight games, they basically walked to the finals. And Chamberlain won the NBA. He won the finals MVP in dramatic fashion. He averaged almost 30 and 20. I mean, he averaged almost 20 and 30 in that series. I know that's nuts to say that, but I know that's crazy that he did that. But I mean, he averaged almost 20 and 20 in that series. But yeah, I think the 72 Lakers with Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain finished second in the league in MVP votes that year. That team is definitely up there as a top 10 champion all time, in my opinion. Number 6, I got the 86 Celtics. To this day, 40-1 at home. I think the Golden State Warriors are the only team that has matched that record. We haven't had a team to match that record since they did it. They have 5 Hall of Famers on that crew: Bird, Mikal, Parrish, Bill Walton, and Dennis Johnson. They won 67 games that year. They served everybody. That was against a young Hakeem Olajuwon, and a young Ralph Sampson. To think about that crew, damn, Big Ox. Sampson was only in year 3, and Olajuwon was in year 2. Damn. So that was pretty dramatic. Number 5 is the Dallas Mavericks in 2011. For them the thing that was the most polarizing with this series, they were actually down in the series. It wasn't like it was a series where it was just neck and neck. You win 2. No, they were down 2-1 in this series, and the fact that they ended up coming back and winning 3 of the next 4 games to win the series. I mean, that says a lot about them. Dirk Nowitzki wasn't great in that series. He was great in closeouts more than anything, and they just were better. They were just better than that Miami Heat team. They did everything better, and I think that was I think that's a top 5 championship team of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Number 4, I got the 95 Rockets. I think that, to be honest with you, this was the toughest road to the NBA championship that any team had ever had. I mean, they had to go through the 60-win Jazz in the first round. They beat them. They had to go past the Phoenix Suns in the next round with Charles Barkley, right? They had to go against Charles Barkley, and they were down 3-1 and came back. This for the second time, by the way. They were down 3-1 the year before that, and then the next year they're down 3-1 again, and they come back and they win. The series again, and then in the Western Conference Championship, they go up against San Antonio Spurs, who got David Robinson, who was the league MVP, and completely dominated him in the series. Olajuwon averaged 35 and 13 in that series, and you got a Dennis Rodman who was averaging 17 or 18 rebounds for the season. He led the league in rebounding, and they came back and beat them. That was pretty dramatic, and they got Shaq and Penny waiting for them in the finals, and they sweep them. And they sweep them. So because they sweep them, right, I think that was one of the toughest roads that I'd ever seen for an NBA champion. I want to make sure that this is. I'm sorry if that's loud. Yeah, that was pretty dramatic. Now, number 3, I got the 16 Cavs. For them to come back from being down 3-1, considering what had happened the year before, they were hurt the year before, and they lose in 6 games, and to now just be down 3-1. And to come back and beat that Golden State Warriors team 73-9, and end up winning the NBA championship. Yeah, that was pretty impressive for me. Number two, and these two, I think you could go either way. But for me, number two, it was the 0-1 Lakers. For me, it was the 0-1 Lakers. I'm on record, Big Ox, saying this. I still stand on it. I feel like they were a half-a-mile freight train with no brakes. Nobody was stopping them. Nobody. They went undefeated in the playoffs in the Western Conference. They only lost one game that year, and that was to Philadelphia. And the reason why they lost to Philly, because they had 10 days off. So today is Wednesday, Big Ox. They end up wrapping up the series today, and then they don't play again. So next Saturday, not this Saturday coming up, next Saturday, they don't play again. So they had 10 days off. Meanwhile, these other teams is just going at each other in dog fights. And that was that I told Shaq that's the best team I ever seen him play on. Of all the teams he's been on.
That's what dominance looks like. That's just dominance.
I thought that was the best team that he was on. And number one is the 96 Bulls. I mean, 72-10. They didn't lose a game for 3 months at one point. I mean, we were at the All-Star break, Big Ox, and they were 42 and like 5, some nonsense like that. They were rolling, and they basically walked to the NBA Finals, swept Orlando in the conference finals, swept the Knicks. No, they beat the Knicks in 5. They swept Atlanta. Who did they play in? No, I'm sorry. They swept Washington, beat the Knicks in 5, and then swept Orlando, and then they ended up handling Seattle. So, yeah. Those are my top 10 champions.
Wow. We got, 67 Sixers, 87 Lakers, 14 Spurs, 72 Lakers, 86 Celtics, 11 Mavs, 95 Rockets, 16 Cavs, 01 Lakers, 96 Bulls. Chilltown, let me ask you, are these lined up as the best championships, like the best runs, best basketball you saw in the championship, best team, or are these best teams? Like, is this a list of the best teams? 96 Bulls, Lakers, Cavs, Rockets, Mavs. Like,
it's a combination of all them things that you just said. Best team, best runs, and like I said, the 67 Sixers. They're the only team in the 60s to beat the Celtics. Can't nobody say that in a whole decade. Say that they beat the Celtics except these dudes. Nobody else can say that. The 87 Lakers, the fact that they rolled through the playoffs the way that they did and ended up beating the Celtics in the NBA Finals. That Spurs team, I mean, they basically won in record fashion. They smoked everybody. And to smoke the Heat the way that they did in the NBA Finals, that was pretty impressive. That 72 Celtics team. I mean, that 72 Laker team. I mean, they won 33 straight games, right? They won 33 straight games that year. 33 straight games. And that was 50 years ago that they did that, and nobody has done that since, right? Nobody did that. Nobody has done that since. So it's a combination of all of those things.
It's a good list. I like it. I like it. I think some people in the chat, I think they were expecting you to put the Cavs at number 1, and then they were also shocked that you didn't have any of the Warriors teams in this new Warriors dynasty on that list as well.
I'm good on the Warriors. I'm straight.
Yo,
what up?
What's good?
What up?
I just got in, bro. I ain't really pay attention to like the beginning of the show, but I did catch the title. Best wings in the league. Obviously, you got D-Book. You got Ant. Well, I guess Ant was more on the
those
rise.
are 2 guards. We talking about wing. We ain't talking about 2 guards. We talking about wings. Yeah, we talking about wings. Yep.
Threes. I would say Mikal, but I think Mikal's gonna play the 2 for us this season.
Which I like that, by the way.
Yeah, I like it too because he get a lot more mismatches at that spot. Obviously, LeBron and KD at this stage of their career, they more on the 4 side. They more on the power forward side of things. If I had to say, damn, that's actually a good question.
Is James a top 10 wing in the game today?
I think he plays a little bit more forward, don't he? Like, wait, what's their starting 5 over there? Like, it's Ant, him. what was it? Does Rui start or does Vanderbilt start?
Vanderbilt starts.
Vanderbilt starts. So Vanderbilt gonna be probably at what, like the 4,
so
right?
James, Reeves, Vanderbilt, and who's their 4-man? Who am I? I'm missing somebody.
I think they 4-man might be Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think they 4-man might be Vanderbilt. So
I'm not sure that James is. If I'm looking at this list, right? If I'm looking at this list and I'm thinking about the top 10 wings in the game, I mean James is still in the conversation. I'm just thinking about James at the age that he is, still productive, still one of the best players in the league. The way that people look at him today, I think is ridiculous to still expect him to be what he was. For people to still look at him today like they looked at him 5 years ago or 3 years ago, that's just unrealistic. That's just unrealistic to do that. That's just not.
Well, this is what happens when you got a hell of a cartel, bro, like Bobby was talking about. So, I mean, it is what it is. But as far as wings go, I had to say, what about Jimmy? Jimmy played 3, right?
Buckets. Yeah, he on that. Mm-hmm. He up there.
Jimmy. Who else we throwing in there? We throw Mars' favorite player, DeRozan.
Yep.
Up in there.
He up there.
Because DeRozan kind of like, I think DeRozan, when Pat Williams is not healthy, because he's really a 3, because they don't have no true 4, he kind of plays the 3 when Pat Williams is healthy, or then he gets moved to the 4, and then Zach LaVine gets moved to the 3. So it's all mixed up over there.
Yep.
Who else? Pialo played a 3.
Banchero? No, he played a 4.
Paolo.
So wait, Wagner played a 3.
Yes.
Wagner played a 3. I don't know if Wagner's really up there yet, but I'm probably missing some names. What about Wiggins? Wiggins played a 3.
Nah, he ain't on there. I don't think so.
You don't think so? Like, because they got Looney, Draymond, and him, right? That's their front court.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But Wiggins ain't on there.
Nah.
What about
I got a list, Leaf. I'm gonna run down the list.
Let me hit. Let me run the list.
Yeah, but hold on. I'm gonna drop you off, and then we're gonna get to it. We're gonna go through the whole list and everything. So
yeah, we'll get you back
to the list. I was going. I'm like,
yeah.
All right. All right, I'm walking right now, anyways, man. Yeah.
For sure. All right,
like it's nice in Brooklyn today.
No,
it's nice. It's nice in the Northeast.
It is.
Where you at, Leaf? You ain't in Brooklyn. Where you at? That ain't no.
I
That ain't
am
that good
in Brooklyn. Where else I'm going?
Big Ox, Brooklyn nice. So it's trees in Brooklyn, Big Ox. Yes, it is.
I've been to Brooklyn.
You been to Brooklyn? You sure?
I've been to
you been here?
I'm saying, Leaf, that weather ain't that good out in Brooklyn today. You
ain't where I'm at. It is that good. Hold on, where I'm at.
Yeah, that's you. That's California, Leaf. You on the West Coast?
Ain't no damn California. You see orange on.
You know what's gonna start, Big Ox. You know it don't take long.
Man, I ain't gonna do nothing today. But yeah, we do. So we do got a list for y'all. Hold on 1 second. Actually, I can. I can share it. I'll pull it up. Give me 1 second. I'll just go ahead. Okay.
I got a couple of discrepancies with it, you know.
Okay. Here it goes right here. Okay, so this NBA Central, right? This is the top 10. So for everybody that's listening and not watching, they have the top 10 wings in the NBA is 1 Giannis, 2 Kevin Durant, 3 Jason Tatum, 4 Jimmy Butler, 5 LeBron James, 6 Kawhi Leonard, 7 Paul George, 8 Mikal Bridges, 9 Brandon Ingram, 10 DeMar DeRozan. And this is from just a couple of days ago. This is from yesterday. They made this list yesterday, September 19th. So this isn't a list from last year or the year before, nothing like that. This is the current 2-day from NBA Central. What are the discrepancies you have, Chilton?
Number 2 or number 3? I mean, I I feel like Kevin Durant. I feel like Jason Tatum has passed him. I do. I feel like Jason Tatum passes him this season. I feel like he upstages Kevin Durant. I feel like Kevin Durant is more skilled, or whatever you want to call it, a better basketball player. But you and I have had this conversation, Big Ox. The fact that Big Ox, the fact that you're a better basketball player does not exclude you from somebody jumping you. It does not happen. And the fact that Jason Tatum, what he has done last season, he had a career year. Not only did he have a career year, he played the majority of the games, first team All-NBA, again for the second straight year, finished in the top 5 in the league in MVP votes, played at a high level. Defensively, he was just as good as defensively, he's gotten much better. So when I think about Kevin Durant and what Kevin Durant does as a bucket getter, there's not many guys who do what Kevin Durant does as a bucket getter. But with that being said, he doesn't do much else, and KD has broken down a lot. And because he's broken down a lot, I can't just keep going off of what KD used to be because he's not available. And I can't hold that. I can't hold guys like Jason Tatum and younger guys back because even though he's still nice, he's not available. I can't hold guys like Jason Tatum and guys like that back. So no, and I'm not going to do that. So I think that Jason Tatum is above Kevin Durant.
The biggest discrepancy to me, Chettown, is Giannis. How is Giannis on this list?
At the 4th spot, right?
Yeah, I don't understand how Giannis is on this list.
Right. At the 4th spot. I mean, that's what I was trying to make sense of, because Giannis played the power. He don't play the wing. Don't get me wrong. He plays on the wing.
Sometimes even play the center. Sometimes.
Yeah, and you know he's grabbing the ball. He grabs the ball off the wing and goes with it. Right. Mm-hmm. He grabs the ball. He grabs the ball off the glass and goes with it. And because he grabs the ball off the glass and goes with it and plays on the wing, maybe they look at him like that because he is their primary distributor. He's one of their primary distributors and passes, and he plays with the ball in his hands a lot on the wing. So maybe they may look at him like that because he doesn't play in the post, even though he's listed as a 4. Because remember too, DeMar DeRozan was listed as a 4. And with that being said, Giannis doesn't really play in the post nearly as much as he should, being a big guy, being one of the big guys. So,
but if Giannis is on here and he can play a position, do you think that they should have made some room for Pascal Siakam or no?
I think so. I think Pascal Siakam should be on this list, considering. Because again, I understand what Giannis is in that offense. But if he's listed as a 4-man, right? If he's listed as a 4-man and he doesn't play on the block, we got to change that, right? So we got to change that. We got to change that to Giannis playing the small forward because he don't play on the block. He does the dirty work that 4 men do. He rebounds at a high level, right? He defends in the post. He defends in the paint at a high level. So he does this. He does the dirty work that 4 men do, right? So because he does the dirty work that 4 men do, and being the size that he is, there are people who would list him at the 4th spot. There's people who list him at the 4th spot. I'm not sure that he's a small forward. I'm not really sure he's a power forward either. I don't really know what to do with Giannis. Is he a wing? Is he not? I don't know.
Yeah. But other than JT and KD flip-flopping, what other and Giannis, what other discrepancies do you see on this list?
Brandon Ingram. I'm cool with Brandon Ingram not being on this list and Pascal Siakam being on the list. I'm cool with taking him off the list. And putting Siakam on the list because considering what Siakam does, and he's a bucket getter too, but I feel like I think the stuff that he does is more impactful for his crew than what Brandon Ingram does. And I feel like I feel like it resonates more with his crew than what goes on with Brandon Ingram. I feel like don't get me wrong, I don't think that Brandon Ingram, I don't think that his buckets I don't think it's empty. Because he's on a damn good team, right? And one of the better one-on-one players in the game. But I feel like with Pascal Siakam, I feel like he does the other stuff that separates. I feel like he does the other stuff that separates him from the rest of the crew. I feel like he does that. That's why I would put him ahead of. I feel like that's why I would put him ahead of Brandon Ingram.
And you're fine with Kawhi and Paul George being at 6 and 7, even with their health issues.
That's right. I feel the same way. How I feel about KD. The same logic applies to both Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Those two dudes, as good as Kawhi Leonard is, Kawhi Leonard hasn't had a healthy season. He hasn't played a healthy season in, 3 years? Like, he was out in 22. Last year, he was in and out the lineup. So KD, the same thing with him. So if KD's going to be on this list, KD got to drop down too. Now, if KD got to drop down, I feel like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George also got to drop down. Because but with those two guys, not only has it been injury, it's also been underperforming too. It can't just be, these dudes is nice and they're great basketball players. All right, well, what have you produced? And Leonard breaking down in 21 in the playoffs, tearing up his knee. Last year, Paul George being as good as he was, making an all-star team, but then breaking down again and underperforming. Year before that, breaking down and underperforming. So, and the same logic goes, the same logic I feel like goes for James too. Because, and I'm on record. I'm on record. I'm not really sure that James is still a top 10 player in the game, because I feel like it's plenty of people that hold James to this standard of him still being what he was years ago. So to have James in this conversation of being like a top 10 player or a top 5 wing, considering James gets hurt, just like KD does, just like Kawhi Leonard does, just like Paul George does. And he does it, but it's a different reason with him. It's because he's old. So if we're going to hold these dudes, if I'm going to hold these dudes to that same logic, I got to hold him to that same logic too. That a guy in James who will have a stretch where he goes 38-8 for like a month, or then he'll go 33-10, and then we won't see him for 2 or 3 weeks. And the reason why we won't see him for 2 or 3 weeks is because he's hurt. And the reason why he hurt is because he's older. And that affects where you stand when you're playing. That affect that we don't have. I don't have guys who are guys who play for stretches and they're awesome, and then we don't see them for weeks, and then they come back and they're awesome again, and then we don't see them again for weeks. As awesome as James still is, I can't hold him to the same standard I held him to when he was playing 5 years ago, when he was playing 78 games, when he was playing 75 games. I can't hold him to that same standard because he's older now. I can't do it.
Okay. Let me bring Leaf back up so he can get all this list. I know he wanted to say something about the list. What's up, Leaf? How you feel about this?
Yeah, Bobby, I'm with you on the Giannis part. Yeah, that's Giannis hasn't played the wing since his early years in Milwaukee. Realistically, he's more ushered in, completely ushered into the 4th spot. It's a lot.
Is he though, Leaf? Because he handles the ball a lot.
He does, but I think it's a lot of bigs that handle the ball a good much, man. I mean, Joker at the 5, he handles the ball. I mean,
but he still do 5-man stuff though. That's the difference. He still does 5-man stuff, and Giannis does 4-man stuff. I mean, he averaged almost 12 rebounds.
Yes, not my point exactly. And I think he does a lot of 4-man stuff than he does 3-man stuff. So my thing is just like where I think a large portion of this list, a lot of guys they look like they beyond they primary wing type years. You know what I mean? I think when I'm thinking of wings now, when you said it before, I went straight to Devin Booker. But now when you said it, I'm thinking about Jaden McDaniels. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like guys that either 3 and D or 3 or D. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I'm thinking of Tobias Harris. I'm thinking I'm not thinking marquee names anymore at the 3. You know what I'm saying?
Grant, guys like that.
Yeah. I'm thinking like the guys that can create mismatches with their defense and a little bit of their offense on any given nights, but they not the marquee names like the names that are up there, like that was on that list. When you think of LeBron now, you're thinking more the 4th spot, you know, because as a wing, his wing days, his primary 3 days is behind him. Let's just put it.
He plays a lot on the block. He does. He plays a lot on the block now. Don't get me wrong. He still handles the basketball, but he plays a lot on the block.
Yeah. When I'm thinking Kawhi, they throw Kawhi at the 4 every now and again. They might throw PG at the 2 for mismatches. They might. Mikal is probably going to play the 2 with us because that's where he had the most advantages. DeRozan is probably the only real 3 up there, but they put him time to time. They might throw him at the 4, throw him at the 2. But what I'm saying is, my thing is like now.
Is DeRozan a 3? He actually is a 2.
That's my point exactly. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like with the wing position now, I think it's going back into the direction of the lockdown defenders, the guys that could shoot a little bit and create mismatches with their 3-level scoring, kind of like the Middletons and the Tobias Harris. They could do a little bit or more offense,
right?
But they not household names like they used to be. Chill.
And also, too, when I think about the wing, I think about an athletic dude. I think about a dude who gets up and down the floor on the regular. Like James don't do that no more.
Jaden McDaniels. That's not a guy. That's not a guy that's going defensively.
Right.
Who else? We was talking about Jeremy Grant. That's a guy that can have an advantage defensively because he's not big enough. He's not big enough to play the 4. So my thing is guys that's athletic enough to play the 3. But not big and not punishable on the block enough to play the 4, or not as skilled enough at to play the 2 with their scoring. So like those are the guys that you put at the 3 to me, man. I don't know, man. What you think, Bobby?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard. But we got Buddy, we got H from the UK in here. Y'all want to jump in here? We only got a couple. Got like 10 minutes left. Y'all better get it in.
Yeah. I just get in quickly, man. I listened to what he said. I agreed with it in terms of with Giannis. Where I disagree is the difference between the 3 and the 4. I think at the high level now, the 3 and the 4 is interchangeable. I think you can play.
Hold on, let me refresh.
In today's game, it is. In today's game, today's game. Like you have the primary 4, but the 3 and the 4, considering what the 3 and the 4 do in today's game, they are interchangeable. That's a fact.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a fact.
Definitely. And with DeMar DeRozan, I think his 2 days are over, man. Like put on a lot of weight, muscle. I think he's played a lot of the 4 recently as well in some cases. So, but the list overall,
like a 3.
He switches with that other guy though who plays the 4 as well. So, if it's a mismatch, he might say it's a high level 4, then DeMar DeRozan will play the 3. If it's a high level 3, he play the 4 on defense. It's all interchangeable now. It's really positionless.
He plays the 2. He plays the 2 now. He plays the 2 now, and Zach LaVine plays the 3.
I thought it was swap, chill. I thought it was swap. I thought DeMar played the 3 and Zach LaVine played the 2.
Well, DeMar always played the 2. That was always his position, and Zach LaVine bigger than him.
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan ain't but 6'5". They got him listed at 6'6". He about 6'5". Zach LaVine, a bit of 6'7". A bit of it.
Yeah, I got that wrong there.
Wait. I thought DeRozan was all of 6'7". Like he.
No, I was gonna say the same thing.
He's not that big. No, he isn't. No,
yeah, but I'm guessing you've seen him in real life. You see him in real life.
He about 6'5", 6'6". He ain't 6'7". He ain't that big.
So how tall did you say Jack is again? 7.
He about 6'5", 6'6".
Wow.
Everybody in the NBA lie about their height, man. Like that's all.
They had John Starks at 6'5". He ain't that big.
John Starks was like a good 6'2", 6'3", I'd say.
He wasn't. Me and him was like this. I probably had him by an inch. He was not that big, and I'm not 6'5". I ain't that big.
Well, one of y'all lying about your height, man. So
right. I ain't 6'5", so.
The one I say, the guy I on the list who I think has the potential to become number 1 is Tatum. I think Tatum's gonna make another jump this year. In all honesty, yeah, but he's gonna give him 3 years, man, and he's gonna be the best in the NBA.
Leaf, you're gonna eat these words, Leaf. I'm telling you. When we haven't sit, we already where I said we were gonna be 2 years ago. We already at where we already having a conversation. You're gonna eat these words, Leaf. You watch.
I got a question for you.
I didn't say anything. That's the crazy thing. You know what? I didn't say anything. Everything that I said in the past, bro, and everything
you said the Celtics got 2 Scottie Pippens, Leaf. You said that. That's what you said, Leaf. You said the Celtics got 2 Scottie Pippens. That's what you said. Hold on, you got a question. What my dude got a question?
Why you bringing up old shit? First off,
you just said it a couple days ago. This was like 3 days ago. You said that.
Hold up, though, Leaf. What's good, buddy? What you got for us?
What's up, Ox, baby? far as like offense, right? How high do you hold playmaking in your criteria? Like far as like
How
offensive
high do I
playmaking?
hold playmaking? I look
Yeah,
at
playmaking.
playmaking different than you. I think I look at playmaking different than you look at playmaking. I don't look at playmaking as just the guy's ability to pass. There's so much that goes
Right.
into playmaking. I look
Right.
at playmaking, your ability to get to the rim and beat up on a big guy and get fouls on him. You get fouls on him. Now, that first unit big man, he got to come off the floor. And now that second unit big man is now switched on to your big. So that's making better plays for my big man. I'm thinking about you on defense. I'm thinking about you on defense, making plays to speed up the offense, like what Jason Kidd did at the point of the attack, where he's ripping guys in the open floor and getting guys like Richard Jefferson easy looks, getting guys like Kenya Martin easy looks. I don't think about playmaking just in the guy just
Not
passing
to
the basketball.
not to cut you off, but I feel the same way though, because I don't feel playmaking is just passing the ball. Like I really don't. I don't feel playmaking is just passing the ball. I feel it consists of more things though. That's why I asked, because you hold LeBron in high regard. You know what I'm saying? And one of LeBron's greatest attributes is his playmaking, right or wrong.
I think he's the best playmaker in NBA history.
What?
Huh?
Yes.
Nah. Yo, chill. Come off that bush, bro. Come off the bush.
Who's a better? So who's a better playmaker than him?
He's better playmaker.
He better
It's
than
not
Mac.
too many better. It's not too many.
Okay.
It's not too many better playmakers than LeBron. You can't.
He better. Hold up.
It's scrap.
Chill
Give
down.
me your criteria for playmaking before I break it down.
Buddy, didn't we just have a conversation about playmaking just now? Did I not just say
Yeah.
how I felt about playmaking?
Okay.
And what I just said both on the offensive and defensive side of the basketball.
Okay. Oh, so
with
that category, then you could say the gravity that Steph Curry receives is because of playmaking. Then you say that?
Curry? No.
Why not? So okay, when he demands triple teams and he's just moving around, how can that not be playmaking?
When he demands, sure, that's fair. But with him demanding, he's getting doubled and quote unquote tripled. He's also got another sharp shooter running with him. Plus, that offense that they run, that's conducive to his play style. It's not like Steph Curry is just running around like a chicken with his head cut off. He's actually getting himself involved in the offense, what's designed around him, and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green at the helm of that. So it's not like all the gravity is just going to Steph Curry. Klay Thompson is. There's people who make the argument that Klay Thompson is one of the 5 best long ball shooters ever. When you running with a dude like that, and you in an offense that's motion heavy like that offense, it's not a lot of guys who don't demand that kind of attention off the basketball. It's not, especially who can shoot like that.
Hey, Chill Town, are you prepared to tell me and tell everybody?
LeBron James is a better playmaker than Magic. Yes.
How you feel about that, Op?
I disagree, but
Bobby?
I mean LeBron. I didn't
say a better passer. I did not say a better passer. I said a better playmaker.
I know what you said. I know what you said.
Until he got a point. He got a point.
LeBron's a hell of a playmaker, though. LeBron's a hell of a playmaker, hell of a
He explained his criteria for playmaking. He already explained his criteria for playmaking.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, that's all you get.
I know that.
If you was to explain that again, you will probably understand.
You feel like running it back down, Chilltown, or was that a?
Yeah,
you don't gotta do it for me. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody else heard.
He explained it. He explained it. But here's my thing.
Hold on, Leaf. Hold on, Leaf. Chilltown, did you want to run it back or?
No, we straight.
Run it back, Chill. Run it back, Chill.
Because I was just curious to see. I was just curious because I said
sure.
I
So
disagree.
I don't think about playmaking as a guy just passing the basketball. I think about playmaking in a multitude of ways. You getting to the rim and finishing at the basket. You creating fouls and getting fouls on other guys to create other opportunities for your big guys. When you dribbling down the lane, you opening up the offense and attracting defenses and getting your other guys involved. When you at the point of the attack, or when you are also playing on the block, getting blocked shots, not just getting blocked shots, getting open floor steals to get other guys involved in the game and creating other offense for other guys. Passing the basketball isn't just playmaking for me. Playmaking is a multitude of things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, from that point of view, yeah, I understand for sure.
I felt them on that too, though.
I won't even. Let's be clear about one thing. For me to say that LeBron James is a better passer than Magic, I'm taking these headphones off and I'm turning this off right now. We ain't doing that. We're not doing that. Not do that.
But from everything that you just said, I don't think LeBron is a better playmaker than Jordan. If you want to go, if you want to take it that far.
But listen to what you just said. You don't think he's a better playmaker than who?
Jordan.
Damn. I mean, like, I thought you was gonna run down like a list of guys. Okay, I can get with that. Because Jordan was a damn good playmaker. Jordan was a fantastic playmaker.
There as well, man. When you said I had Kobe, Kobe came to mind straight away.
Right? Keep going. Right?
But you know what the thing is, Chill? It's just some people criteria only consists of playmaking as passing. So some would believe that, you know what I'm saying, that LeBron, Magic, Bird, and all these other guys are better playmakers than the Kobe's and the Mikes and stuff of that order. But how you just explained it, you know what I'm saying, I could get with that criteria.
Well, the reason why, buddy, is because that would be wrong. How many times have you heard a guy on the team go, yo, we got to make a play. We got to make a play. Well, I got to make a play. So I'm playmaking. I'm not just playmaking with just getting you the basketball. I'm not just playmaking with me scoring. I'm playmaking in a number of different ways. So to say that Jordan is a better playmaker than James, you may have an argument there. Hell yeah. I don't think he's the passer that James is. I think that's where the separator might be with Jordan and James. Same thing with Bird. But I think you can make the argument for these dudes. But when I think about a playmaker, he's the best that I've ever seen.
Yeah, Bird came to mind as well.
We talking about Jordan, Bird, Kobe, Oscar,
Magic.
Who else?
Only Magic.
What's another name I got?
Magic.
I go with CP3 as well, man.
Hey, I got time for one more question.
Yeah.
You and Chill?
Yeah,
I'm not putting LeBron over none of them as playmakers. I'm sorry.
Why not, Leaf? Hold on, buddy. Don't go nowhere. But why not, Leaf? What's the problem?
My thing is, if we talking about, well, first off, if we talking about everything that pertains to what you said, Jordan and Kobe to me, off the rip, like to me on both ends of the floor and how they play make on both ends of the floor. To me, off the rip, I'm taking them over LeBron.
Leaf, because I said so is not an answer, Leaf. Come on, man. That's not good.
I'm going based off of what you were saying. But like, if you're talking about getting to the rim, Jordan lived in the paint. Kobe lived in the paint at certain points of his career. Talking about going at the big man. Jordan went at the big man. Kobe went at the big man. But when we're talking about getting in the passing lanes, Jordan got in the passing lanes. Kobe got in the passing lanes. To me, I don't think LeBron did none of those things better than them.
The thing is, though, Leaf, I could say, because I'm more of a Kobe play style, Kevin Durant play style type of player, LeBron is obviously a more willing passer than them guys. So and he is a better passer than them guys and a more willing passer. You know
Leaf,
what I'm saying?
you know what that is right there, Leaf? What he's saying? That's the separator right there. That's where the separator is. But keep going, buddy. I'm sorry. Keep going if I interrupt you.
Go ahead.
But Chilltown.
Well, hold on, Leaf, real quick. Let me get this from H. H been trying to get this off for a minute, y'all.
With what you just said there, though, about LeBron is a he's a more willing passer than Kobe. I wouldn't say he was a better passer than Kobe. When Kobe chose to pass the ball, he was a very good playmaker. He was a very good passer. He's chosen to. I think that's the downfall with Kobe because he was so greedy. I don't like to knock Kobe, but he was very greedy and he was very.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to knock him. But what I can't do if we're going to do that, I can't say that this guy was a better scorer than this guy. He just chose not to do it. That's not legit.
Yeah, but we see Kobe's
even if you did do it, if you didn't do it consistently at a high level, that's where the separator comes in. That's not to say that you couldn't do it because it's obvious that he could do it, right? Yeah. It's obvious that just like Kevin Durant as a defender, we obviously saw Kevin Durant as a defender. He could play defense. The problem is how consistently could he play defense at a high level?
And the effort.
I hear you about that. I hear you about that point, Chill Town. But as it pertains to Jordan and Kobe, there was no question what they could do against the three things that I told you about in terms of getting to the basket, putting pressure on the paint, and putting pressure in the passing lanes as well. I think if you want to tell me the one separator is that LeBron is simply a willing passer in both of them, which he was, and we just heard H say at the times when Jordan and Kobe decided to give up the ball, 9 times out of 10, they made the right play. Like, my thing is just like, no, ain't no way I could put LeBron. Ain't no way I could call LeBron the separator for that. No,
Right.
I'm not. No, because at that point, now we going back to the Magic argument.
So what separates?
Leaf,
it gotta be a separator, bro. Because what makes them the same type of player?
No, you didn't, because you didn't, Leaf, because you telling me that Kobe and Jordan at the rim. I mean, are Kobe and Jordan at the rim better than James at the rim?
They was better at putting. They went to the basket a lot more willingly and a lot more traffic than LeBron did.
Bro,
listen to what you just said, Leaf. Like, James is a downhill guy. That's who James is.
Yeah, but that's because he was fast. He lived in transition. I understand that. But in terms of a half court set, Jordan wasn't afraid.
Even in the half court set, it wasn't until years later that he put the mid range, the respectable mid range, and the long ball in his game. It wasn't until years later that he did that because he recognized which way the game was going. Up until then, he was a head down, put his head down, go to the basket, get to the rim kind of guy. That was him. That's where he lived at, as a matter of fact. He lived at the rim.
Yeah, when he had a little man on him, of course, yeah. But like, when it was big up in there, LeBron wasn't doing that.
I got you, buddy.
I'm positive of it.
All right, Lee, so we got to move on. I'm gonna let you get this last question off, buddy, and then we gonna keep it moving. Go ahead, bro.
For you and Chill, top 5 post players of all time.
Top 5 post players of all time. Jabbar, Lajuan, Diesel. I gotta say it, yo. Joker. I have to say it. Joker. Who's that 5th guy on the box? Malone was awesome on the box. Mm-hmm. Duncan was awesome on the box. Mm-hmm. Chamberlain.
I'm gonna go in order. In order, number 1 is Shaq. Number 2 is Hakeem. Number 3, Tim Duncan. Number 4, Kevin McHale. And number 5, Karl Malone.
That's why I asked the question, y'all, because I feel as though Kevin McHale is a very, very underrated post player.
Mm-hmm. Buddy, are we just talking about a dude on the box that I'm just going to for buckets? Because if we talking about a dude on the box, I'm talking
about skill, Chill, like footwork.
Joker got to come because Joker don't got the box work that McHale got. No, he does not.
Yeah, I got McHale.
Shaq,
yeah.
Tim, Kevin McHale, and Kobe.
Yeah, that's a good question, though.
Lajuan on there, definitely Lajuan on there. Diesel on there. Lajuan, Diesel, Chamberlain. Who did I leave? Who did I just say? Lajuan, Diesel, McHale. And it's between Joker and
Chill.
He was hell. He was hell on the box.
Yeah, I'll put Malone at 5.
Damn.
Yeah, McHale on that block was something else.
Nah, he was serious.
That shit just got me sweating thinking about McHale. Holy shit.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Appreciate you.
Chill.
God. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No question.
Yes, sir.
Right,
absolutely, brother.
Yeah.
Damn, I forgot all about McHale. Like, wait a minute. You talking about a dude on the block that can just go into it and whatever you're looking for and just give you what you want? How did I forget about McHale? I'm wild right now. My fault, yo. I apologize. My fault. I apologize. You forget about McHale there. That's all on me. 100%. No doubt.
That was a good question. I'm happy.
Holy shit.
Here we go. Henry been hating in the chat all episode. He talking about you couldn't score a point on Kobe, huh?
That's not true. I did, actually. Yes, I did. I scored 9 on him, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he been
that ain't true.
He been here straight pure hating for about an hour and a half now. From King James. Yo, you see the report? Tatum playing PG next season? Whoa.
I already said
Is that true?
I'm not,
is that a real report?
I think that they're gonna make him one of their primary ball handlers. I do not, and I'm on record, Big Ox. I said it. I do not love Jason Tatum as my primary ball handler. I don't. I do not. So I do not love him as my primary ball handler. And Henry, yes, I did. Matter of fact, Henry, goofy. How did you even find out? I got a question for you, Henry. How did you even find out that I didn't score a point on him? Can you explain that one to the people in the chat? You goofy that everybody thinks that you are. Can you explain that one? I don't think so. I'm sorry.
Hey, H, I got you back up here, bro. You want to get your 5 list off too?
Yeah, man. Boy, that was a good list, my buddy. Dirk, I'm no order. Dirk's up there. Kobe up there. Kobe's at the next level, man. You actually think about the poster he actually had. Every move book you can think of, reverse pivots, penunders, and he was doing post moves from the 3-point line.
Brian had phenomenal footwork. He didn't have good footwork. He had phenomenal footwork.
Yeah, picture perfect, and I can't lie. Picture perfect. One, yeah, another one's definitely up there. Mikal's a good one as well. Mikal's a good one. Then last but not least, this is what's it called? This one might be a underrated one. Al Jefferson was a lot on the box, but he wasn't Joker. He wasn't Mikal. He wasn't Shirt. He wasn't Malone. Nah, he wasn't that good on the box. Nah, Al Jefferson, bro. Al Jefferson couldn't jump over a piece of paper. So way he
Joker can't either.
Joker's nice, but he's got good weapons, man. Yeah. Al Jefferson played like go on, brother.
Yeah. All right, H. Just wanted to let you get your list off, bro. Catch us on Saturday, bro.
Come on, say that.
All right. Yeah, that's a good list. We got the super chats. Shout out gold members Haramis MR, Terry, IDWC, and Avion Plumber. If you want to be a gold member, all you gotta do is click on that link down there. Painless. We appreciate all the love, all the support. Thank y'all for coming up here rocking with us today. Make sure you like this video on your way out. I'm pretty sure y'all all subscribe, but if not, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell. We'll be back on the panel tomorrow. Fluent and chill tomorrow too, right, Chilton?
All night, 7 o'clock. We on a new time, 7 o'clock.
Oh, 7 now. So what's an hour later now?
2 hours earlier.
Oh, 2 hours earlier. I'm thinking on my side. I'm thinking on my side. You're right.
Used to go at 9 o'clock. We're going at 7 now.
Okay, so yeah, a little earlier, man. Y'all make sure to catch up with Fluent, Chill, W host Haley. Y'all make sure y'all go check out that show. We'll be on the panel in the morning. Love yourself, y'all. Chill town.
Absolutely. Drink some water. Put a suit on. Call somebody if you need help or you need a ride. Do not get behind the wheel. Put a suit on. Drink water. Love yourself. And call your mother.
Definitely.
Till then, take it light. Take it.
Right on. Never drink and drive, y'all. Never drink and drive.
Absolutely.